another class. I want to thank Yahweh first of all,
Mm,
to allowing us to come before this body to come before Him to keep another Shabbat. His holy
praise God.
Shabbat before Him. So we praise Yahweh for that, and you are all always welcome. To the keepers of the house of light. My
Praise
name
God.
is praise Yahweh for that, my deacon. My name is Uriah Ben Israel.
Obadiah Ben Israel.
Praise Yah. How you
Praise
doing, my
Yah.
deacon?
I'm doing great, Elder. Praise Yah. Yes, sir. Praise Yah indeed. Yeah, it's
What
been
they
a
always
beautiful.
said, they said if you're up straight, that is
Mm,
more than a blessing.
that's it. That's it. In the land of the living, as them say,
Yep.
you know.
Land of the
Praise Yah.
living, man. You can
Mm-hmm.
all you can always appear before Him and ask Him for forgiveness.
See?
But if you are 6'6", you're in big trouble. You have to wait for that
Mm,
judgment. You
see?
have to wait for that judgment.
Yeah.
Mm.
You say a living dog is better than a dead lion. So,
Praise
Yahweh give
Yah.
us health and strength and ability. So, yeah, we have to give thanks for that and be grateful and take advantage of this time that Yahweh has given us. Truly. Praise Yah.
Truly and truly. So once again, the visitors and members, you're always welcome to the keepers of the house of light. You can send questions, whatever is on your mind. We know we are in a certain times, and everyone is on an edge right now. So
Mm,
these words are very comfort to all of us. You just have to
mm,
apply it in our daily lives. And
mm,
thing, I mean, if you're looking for better, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse,
mm,
because he already warned us about these wars and everything that is about to take place upon this
mm,
earth. Yeah, so we just have to pray that he help us to carry through all these hard time and not
mm.
to worry too much about it. But you're always welcome because the brothers, of the keepers of light, gonna be always there as Yahweh, allow us to be here to answer
Mm.
all of your question and to comfort, this body and outside this body, as much as He allow us to do those things. So we continue to thank the Most High, yeah. But
Praise Yah. Praise
praise
Yah.
yeah. Let's get on. Let's let the public know who we are.
Mm,
The keepers of the house of light are dedicated to spreading the righteousness, love, mercy, and forgiveness of our Father, Yahweh Elohim of hosts, by and through his Son, Yeshua, the Messiah, the Lamb of Yahweh, the King of Israel, the High Priest, and
mm.
our Redeemer and Savior. Praise Yahweh, whose
Praise
name
Yah.
be blessed forever.
You said
We are
something
here,
there, Elder.
of course.
Mm. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. You
Continue,
can
sir.
go there and
Yeah.
elaborate a little
Yeah, no, I
because
mean, you made a statement about the importance of us taking the time to reflect and read in this book and
that's
meditate
correct.
on that. And what come to my mind is Exodus. Moshe in Exodus 17,
Mm-hmm.
Exodus Exodus chapter 4, forgive me,
Mm-hmm.
verse
No problem.
17.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's chapter 4.
Go and read it. Read. We can break. And I want one of the visitors and the members should know that when this light and it goes live, our Shabbat discussion class is on.
Mm,
There's no set. We are just here to do the work, to
see?
read and to understand this book.
Yeah, man, it was chapter 17. And
Chapter
it's chapter
17.
17, verse 14. You know,
Okay.
because we go in, we said, okay, the Spirit, this Yahweh led us and say, you start from the beginning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people would say, well, why? What is the significance? That's old. A lot of the religions today teach, oh, well, that's old. this word.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys reading this for? But Exodus chapter 17, verse 14,
Mm-hmm.
um, Moshe said, and Yahweh said unto Moshe, write this for a memorial in a book, and
Mm-hmm.
rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. So from ancient times, we see he said, you write these things in a book. A book of remembrance was written
Mm-hmm.
for his children. So, yeah, it was just, that's what resonate with me when you say that, how powerful it is for us to take the time to reflect and learn to apply these things in our life. This is why he wrote it down, because a book of remembrance was written. Yes, sir.
Praise
Praise.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if these things, have been preserved for us, we have to use it,
That's
because
right.
it's our way back to the house where we truly belong.
Mm.
Yeah. But we know through our Savior, whose name we are blessed forever.
Mhm.
We are here to teach and proclaim the gospel of Yeshua, who magnified the law of Yahweh. I just want to get that in my deacon, because and to get you know segue back to at verse 14. Go ahead
Mm.
and elaborate on it a little more. Explain to them what that really means to rehearse. You know.
See, this is what we're doing right now. We're
Mm-hmm.
rehearsing. You know, when you read the book of Deuteronomy, you see that it was a sermon that was given. When you look at the dates, you'll see it was just, this was Moshe giving a sermon. So Yahweh's passed these words down to Moshe, and
Mm-hmm.
he's already preparing Moshe, because Moshe is not going to go into the land. You know,
That's right.
Yahweh's already prepared, and he's telling him, you write these things down and give Joshua preparation and give him admonishment, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
Joshua's going to have to be instant in season, and out of season, because Moshe is going to be taken out of the picture, and here Joshua is going to come in and fulfill what he has to fulfill. So these things were
Mm-hmm.
written down. He said, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of, this is preparation. So we're rehearsing these things in the ears of our people, so we can reflect on what did our fathers do, you know. And we harp on that because we talk about accountability all the time, my elder.
Mm-hmm.
And we, Yahweh's allowed us to come into this truth and wake up in these days and times, and that's a beautiful thing. But a lot of our people, especially some of these camps and various organizations, have assumed the role of gatekeepers, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
They're locking the gate. Envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. This is how the
That's right.
oppressor deals with us. And so we've
That's right.
taken on this role and seem to forget the reason why we were brought here in the first place. Our fathers were very stiff-necked, very stubborn and disobedient. And so Yahweh brought us here. It was a chastisement. So now we come into this truth and we get hardy, and we seem to forget, why were we brought here in the first place? And so we have to deal with this. And this is what we harp back on this and reflect and read this book of remembrance, so we don't get beside ourselves like our fathers did. Because our fathers told, they said, well, Israel, they said, Jerusalem is the pot and we the flesh. You know,
Hmm.
Yahweh can't do this thing without us. And this was the mindset that they had. And they became haughty. And it's a Yasharal waxed fat, And so, yeah, here we are today in this condition. So we're just trying to remain humble and reflect on these things, rehearse these righteous acts, so that we can go back and learn from the mistakes of our fathers, so that we could possibly do better, if it be Yah's will. Because every parent wants their child to do better than them. And so Yahweh wrote these things down. Our fathers, they fell down on the job, but they did their part, and we're here to do our part. So we're not, everything that happened is according to Yah's will. Yeah.
Praise Yahweh for that,
Yeah.
my deacon. And if I should pull two words that you have mentioned, is like rehearse and reflect. Okay, why you reflect? Is something we are all short of. Something
Mhm.
that you're supposed to do, which you didn't. We all don't carry out the full aspect of the law,
That's
of the
right.
instruction that was given unto us. And look on a singer, artist before they comes on the stage. you
Mhm.
know whether they receive or they write the song lyrics themselves, they
Mhm.
rehearse it. Not
Mm,
once, not twice, but they rehearse it until it becomes a part of them.
mm,
You know, they said when you rehearse certain things for about 18 times, then it
mm,
becomes an habit. So we have to
mm,
get into that habit of rehearsing 18 times plus. Sometimes you have to do even much more than 18 because you
mm.
want this word to be a part of you.
Praise Yah.
So we praise Yahweh for that. And before we go, as you stated that rehearse and reflect. Let's go into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30. Let's look at the final warning. We're not going to read everything because we
Mm.
know we have to get back. And we can pick it up at,
Praise Yah, Mayor.
yeah, verse 11. There's a couple of verses.
Mm. Praise Yah.
Yeah, because,
Deuteronomy chapter 11.
no, chapter 30.
Chapter 30, forgive me, verse
And pick up
11.
verse
Verse 30.
11.
Mm.
Because we have to continuously warn our people what's going on today.
That's right. That's right. We're in the
And
book of Deuteronomy. Oh, I'm
mhm.
sorry. Go ahead, man.
Now, I was gonna say, and if you notice, our elder is not here. Today is taking one of those trip, to look for his loved ones, and to
Praise
pray
Yah.
for his loved ones. So we ask all the members also to pray for our elder too, and pray for this
Indeed.
body also.
Praise Yah.
Praise
Indeed.
Yahweh.
Yes, sir. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30,
Mm-hmm.
verse 11. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off.
Mm-hmm.
It is not in heaven that thou shouldest say, who shall go up to heaven for us? Or who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it?
So,
Neither. Oh, forgive me.
so just look in that very verse. It is not,
Mm,
it's not that far away from you because we are here.
mm,
We are doing the works of the Most High. We're bringing
mm.
this work even much more closer to you through all these media sources. So we praise
Praise Yah.
Yahweh for it. So this word is so nigh unto each and every one of us. Any question, bam, send an email. That's all I got to
Mm,
do. We'll go over and
mm.
over until all of us get a grasp of what the Most High is saying to us.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to proceed, Elder?
Yeah, continue to proceed. Yeah.
Okay. Verse 13. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil, in that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and Yahweh thy Elohim shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
So, just looking back on those, important words that you just stated, to
Mm,
rehearse and to reflect. Okay? We have to do
mm,
that each and every day. You have to look on the man in the mirror, because
mm,
that man in the mirror is all messed up. Once you're in this
mm,
body, you're going to mess up. There's no doubt about
mm,
it. But these instructions are put before you so that, look in verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and
mm,
death and evil. So all these things are before us today, but we can get by. So it doesn't matter what they want to do in this work. Continue to rehearse and reflect
mm,
on these words. Continue to reflect, and rehearse these words. We're gonna take it to 20, if you don't mind, my deacon.
no problem,
Yeah,
Elder.
these words are very important to us, and this is the final warning, not only to those that was in the wilderness, but unto us also, because this is a wilderness that we're in right now, and
Mm,
We're in it for 400 years, approximately.
mm.
So we need to get out. But, we have to know these words, are able, to discern, what is good and bad, and to do the good instead of the bad. Go ahead, my deacon.
Yes, sir, Elder. Verse 16. In that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and Yahweh thy Elohim shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away, and worship other gods, and serve them, I denounce unto thee this day that you shall surely perish,
Mm,
and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou goest over Jordan, whither thou passest rather over Jordan to go possess it.
mm-hmm.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love Yahweh thy Elohim, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which Yahweh sware unto thee, unto thy fathers rather, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
Praise
Praise
yeah, and
Yah.
praise yeah. Take
Mm.
those word into consideration in our daily lives, because we need them. That would
Elder,
go ahead.
yeah, just to land back off of what you said and to confirm what you said, because the definition of reflection, and you just said this, was to consider. It says serious thought or consideration.
Mm-hmm.
See? So just like you say, yeah. So we have to take the time to give serious thought and consideration
Yeah.
to the things that. Mm,
Because we can see it with our own eyes, the
mm,
direction which the world is going right now. What's going
mm,
on. All these things
mm,
are happening because of you, or Israel, no one else. The Most High is
mm,
ready, for you to go back home. So
mm.
we praise Yahweh.
See,
Hmm.
praise
And
Yah.
with that, I'm going to allow my deacon to announce the title, and I'm going to hand it over to him to do the pre-class, this Shabbat.
Praise Yah, my elder. And
Praise
praise
Yah.
Yah again for all of you who's tuned in. Again, like I said, our elder is not with us today, so our prayers are with him, and Yahweh be with him on the road, and he be safe. The Today's class will be entitled "A Sword in the House of David," Part 3. Again, "A Sword in the House of David," Part 3. And we're going to begin today's pre-class reading with the Shema, as we always do. And the Shema can be found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 4 and 5. And we know the Hebrew word Shema, it's actually Shamar, and it means to listen or to hear. So let us
Praise
hear
Yah.
what it is that's written. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim is one Adonai, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh
Yes,
for
sir.
those words, man. It put us back
Mm.
on the correct route
Like you
and
always say,
leaded
my
to
elder, everything
salvation.
everything points to that Shema, you know. We know
That's right.
everything points to the Mashiach, but because and we're going to confirm that everything points to the Mashiach because we're going to read the Mashiach quoting the Shema. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, and we're going to pick it up at verse 34. Matthew, chapter 22, verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, Which is the great commandment in the law? Yahshua said unto him, Thou shalt love thy Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
So we see our Adonai, King High Priest Yeshua HaMashiach, he quoted the Shema. You know, when they asked him, what is the greatest commandment? What is the great commandment in the law? You know, and he didn't tell him the law was done away with. So, yeah, he didn't tell him that. So,
I mean,
you know, there's some misunderstandings going around here today.
Yahweh is a living, you know, Elohim, true and living Elohim. I mean, how could his word be for a time T? It'd have to be forever and ever, upon ever and ever.
See, we just read. He said, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. Now, who could say that? You know, the earth and the heavens record the behavior of Yahweh's chosen people. Imagine that.
Absolutely.
That's powerful. The book of Matthew, we're going to stay in the Gospel of Matthew, and we're going to go to chapter 18 and read one verse. And this is what gives us the authority to do what it is we do here today. For we're not freestyling, and it's very important that the viewers understand that. Matthew chapter 18 verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah once again, my deacon.
Yes, somebody. And we're going to go to the prophet Isaiah, one of the most prolific prophets. Lived through many kings and lived through a lot of times and recorded some great words that Yahweh had gave unto him to give deliver unto his people. So in the book of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, chapter 58, we're going to read verses 13 and 14. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it.
Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Thank you once again, my deacon, for that pre-class reading. And you know, these things are so important. You know, if we need, you know, as what he, you know, our prophet Isaiah told us, that for us to ride on the heritage of our forefathers. You know, these things are required by Yahweh for us to do today. You know, no doubt about that. Yeah, you cannot go back into the land, you know, unprepared. Yahweh not going to allow that. You know, He's going to plead with you, especially in the wilderness or in the time of the tribulation. So, you know, yeah, you're not just going to go back into the land. You have to follow all these instructions. You're going to be killed. Yeah, you're going to be taken out by the Most High. So let us all, you know, follow all these instruction as what my deacon said. The Shema is so important, you know, the laws, the commandments, and everything else. The word, you know, of the Most High and His Son, Yeshua. So important for us, you know, to go back, you know, to our rightfully home, the house.
That's powerful, Elder, because we just read in Isaiah 58, he said, I'm going to feed thee with the heritage of Jacob. And, you know, you had said that. And I was meditating on that. And if we jump to Isaiah 54, verse 17, he, you know, this is the precept for it. He confirmed it. Verse 17 said, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment shall you condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. Yes,
Praise
sir.
God.
Praise God.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
those are so much comforting word for us to know,
Mm,
to rehearse, and to be at peace with ourselves.
that's right.
Because when we read in Deuteronomy 30, verses
Mm,
11 through to the end, Yahweh has put certain things, you know, health, death, and everything else, evil. He
mm,
caused evil to happen in this world, but if you follow his instruction, there's no need to worry. I mean, yes, you're going to fall. Yes, you have to atone for your sin, but right away, you're going to be at peace. You're going to be at peace with your maker,
praise
So,
God.
yeah, so praise Yahweh. Once again, let me repeat that title: A Sword in the House of David, Part 3.
Praise
A
God.
Sword in the House of David, Part 3. I know we've been doing many, many series, reference to David and, his kingdom, his household. I think the first one, which, where Yahweh established the house of David
Mm,
and, for David to operate within the law. And the
mm,
question we need to ask ourselves is, are our house in order? Because Yahweh will you know place a sword in our house also, and
mm,
we all have to have that. We have to make a conscious effort to get that corrected before we enter into the promised land.
mm. Praise God.
And yeah, so and realize Yahweh, yeah, we are the priests, honor the Melchizedek priesthood.
Mm,
Okay, for our household. So, if we are priests, in our household, we have to do the priestly job. There's no
mm,
doubt about that. Because a house need to be very strong, healthy and
mm,
strong. And
mm,
you have to feed that house with all the healthy stuff.
mm,
Okay, and these stuff are the word of the Most High. These are
mm,
spiritual stuff to allow that house to grow correctly and strong, and you may have a storm, you maybe have high wind, but that
mm.
house will always stay firm because Yah is the protector of that house.
Praise God. He said, "No
Yeah.
weapon formed against you shall prosper." See,
Praise Yah.
and we see weapons being formed, Elder, and we're powerless. What power do we
Mm,
have to be able to combat these things, except in Yah? You know, Yahweh is our. He said, the nations have said they have forsaken the habitation of justice,
mm-hmm.
and every
Mm,
day we're crying for justice, but we forsook the
mm.
habitation of justice. But we have to be mindful of, like we say, why we were brought here in the first place. We seem to lose sight of that in the midst of
That's
our
right.
awakening, and but it's here again. We have to reflect, like you say, and remember, and this is why a book of remembrance was written. So that we can reflect and rehearse these righteous acts, like you said, my Lord. Praise you.
Praise Yahweh for that. I think
Mm,
we stop at we in the book of Second Samuel. Second Samuel, we stop. I think we're through with up to chapter 18,
yes, sir.
and we're gonna start chapter 19 today. So whenever my deacon is ready to go, so we can get into, and see, all the things that involve, with David house, the
Mm,
good and the bad, and to see if Yahweh is going to return this house, unto David,
mm,
because Yahweh has made a oath with David, and
mm-hmm.
Yahweh is going to keep his part of the bargain. So
That's
it's
right.
up to David, to rise again and receive, the house again, so he could lead this house and turn this house back over to his son. Because one of the main thing, if we go to the end time scenario, David is going to bring that house into the promised land.
Mm, indeed.
Yeah, he's going to
Indeed.
be in that wilderness.
Mm, That's right.
Yeah, and he's gonna take that the house of Yehuda is gonna
Mm,
be back into the land first, okay? So that
mm.
the other tribe, don't boast themselves against of the house of Yehuda. So go ahead, my deacon, and take it away. Second Samuel chapter 19, verse 1.
Yes, sir. 2 Samuel chapter 19, verse 1. And it was told Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people. For the people had heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son.
Mm.
Mm.
You
And
know,
the people, uh,
it's a touchy situation, my deacon, because when it comes, not to say it is blood, but when you have your seed been hurt or been killed,
mm-hmm,
of course, no, look back and when Yahweh take those two boys from Aaron.
hmm, that's right.
Aaron he couldn't eat the sacrifice.
No, he
Yeah,
couldn't even mourn.
he
He wouldn't
couldn't
even
even
allow him to
mourn,
mourn.
man.
Mm,
Yeah, so
mm,
you have to turn to his younger brother and say, "Man, I can't do this." So his younger brother have to entreat Yahweh for his older brother.
mm,
Moshe, you have to do that. So
that's
it's
right.
it's a hurtful situation, but you know, but David, have his counselor.
Mm,
All they love him, man. They look out for him. When
mm,
he fall, they will put him back on that route. Mhm.
mm.
You
Praise
you
Yah.
can chip in at any time, my deacon.
Oh yeah, no, no, I'm listening, my elder. I'm listening. That's what you have to have, wise counsel among you. You
That's
know,
right.
and it says iron sharpens iron. So
That's
yeah,
right.
if we fall down out of the way, then we always, Yahweh bless us with it, having someone to admonish you and to give you uh counsel or advice, or that's a blessing. And we see some people don't receive it as a blessing. Some people can't take counsel, some people cannot take admonishment or correction. And
That's
so
right.
we see that you really set yourself up for you put yourself in a disadvantage, because
Absolutely.
this is the purpose why Yahweh give you iron to sharpen iron. Admonish one another in love. That's not to say you're chopping your brothers down, but we admonish one another in love and encourage one another. This is what we're supposed to do. you know yeah,
They always said, "No man stand alone."
yeah.
You
No
know,
man is an
it,
island.
and
Hmm.
no man is stand alone on an island. Yeah.
Mm.
So just look back on the creation. If Yahweh need one person, would he multiply? Would he say to Adam and Eve, go and multiply?
That's right.
Multiply.
Mm. Mm. See,
Yeah, it
that's
would
right.
have kept Adam only, or Eve and Adam to worship.
Mm.
Worship him in the garden forever and ever.
See,
But he said, go ahead and be fruitful.
now that's
Yeah,
powerful. He said, "Be
yeah,
fruitful and multiply."
and multiply.
See, so you multiply, you have but be fruitful, be productive. Don't be
That's
idling.
right.
Be productive. They have work to do. They got the land had to be taken care of, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Adam could yield the substance. He was a god if you would, but then Yahweh took that away from him. After he sinned.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened, when
Mm,
we all opened that door. But the good thing about it, the Most High have given us a way out, a door of hope, through the
praise,
Messiah, So we
praise
pray, I
God.
always pray Yahweh for that.
Mm. We got a brother joining us online. Elder. He asked for prayers for his mother.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely will keep you and your family in prayer. I don't know what the ordeal is, but we would definitely keep your mother in prayer, my brother. Praise you
Okay.
and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, he lists his name or
Waka Damon, I don't know if that's the full name that he goes by, but that's what it's listed on YouTube. So
okay.
yeah, we definitely want to keep all the family in prayer. But yeah, he's asking for prayers for his mother. So definitely, my brother,
Praise
we
Yah. We
definitely
will do that, man.
keep
We'll
your
do
mother in
that.
prayer. Right? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Praise Yahweh for this. for this outlet too, for others to come in and ask her, for a request, you know.
Yes, sir. Hmm. Praise Yah. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 19, verse 3. And the people gat them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, O my son Absalom, O Absalom, my son, my son.
Oh
And
man, he's
mm,
really and truly hurt.
yeah,
He's going through. He's going through it. Yeah, losing a son or a loved one. I mean,
mm,
one of your children. Come
yeah,
on, it's a very hard thing to go through.
mm,
It's
mm,
very hard. It's very hard knowing that you are the one that Yahweh used, for that seed to manifest in this world.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like a part of you. It's gone. You
See,
respect who you are. At that point, that person needs some comfort. That's what the brother said. You're hurt. You need something. You need someone to pray for you. You need
mm,
someone to console you.
see,
Going through all these, ordeal. It's pretty rough.
see.
So, we have to be sometimes pretty patient, with the hurtful ones, and continue to pray to the Most High to heal
That's
their
so
hurt, man.
so important. That's so important what you say, Elder. The because I like when delivering the word to the people, a lot of times we are like our people. We have to learn to reach our people where they at.
That's right.
Reach them where they're at. If they're hurting, then we need to address the hurt. If they're lost, we need to address the issue of them being lost. We
Mm-hmm.
can't expect our people to know just because Yahweh woke us up and then we expect them to just know, okay, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be doing that, Yahweh, and we condemn them. We are, I hear a lot of our brothers, we condemn them, and it's, you know, Yahweh put that curse of blindness upon us. Like, what can you do about that if He doesn't open your eyes and allow you to come? So we have to be more compassionate with our people. I mean, there's a time for all things, you know,
Hmm.
but yeah, we have
There's
to
a
be
time. I
compassionate
what you
with our
said.
people. Mm,
There's a time for everything under the sun.
mm. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah. There's a time, man. You said something really, profound, man. When you said we have to reach them where they're at, that is so
Mm,
important to understand what they are going through. Because
mm.
if you don't, what help you're gonna give them?
See?
They're hurting. You see, a newborn start crying. They don't
Mm,
know how to translate or to talk to you, but through their crying, you know
mm-hmm.
exactly what to do. Because the Most High
That's
have
right.
put that spirit into you to comfort that child, whether they need
Mm,
food or their diaper need changing or something, they need rubbing or whatever, you
mm,
know. So it's so important to know where that person is at, so you can apply or give that treatment required for that person.
mm. Praise Yah. That's powerful, Elder. Yes, sir. Um, 2 Samuel chapter 19, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Joab came into the house to the king and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons, and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines, in that thou lovest thine enemies, and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived, and all we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by Yahweh, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night, and that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that befell thee from thy youth until now. Then the king arose and sat in the gate, and they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king does sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent.
You see how
Mm,
important the deliver is, you know,
mm,
because
mm,
you can't just rush up on the king and tell the king, "Oh man, you need to stop that or stop doing that." Joab
mm.
presented itself in a way that the king have to, check himself and say, "You know what, you're right." So
That's
the
right.
deliver process is also important. You can't really go with force.
Mm,
That's why I said you have to know where that person is at and know how to deliver so that person can receive the message from the Most High.
see, you're so right, Elder, because he's mourning for his son,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same point in time, he's missing. That's one aspect of that. That's just one vantage point to look at,
Yep.
but or one perspective. But then his servant Joab leads the army. Now, suppose we read history, we know all about various conspiracies and how people conspired for power, and so your general was one of the main persons who could subvert your kingdom. This is where most of the coups today that take place. If you got a military leader and he's not okay with the behavior of the king, he'll turn the army against the king and take over.
That's right.
You know, so he's telling them, look, man, you're going to lose all these men. You don't straighten up. You better go out there and acknowledge these people. You know, I hear you about your son, but it's going to be worse if you don't go out there and go deal. All these men going to turn on you,
Mm.
and that was wise counsel. It
Very
was wise
wise.
counsel.
Very wise, man.
And
Because
like you said, he received it, elder.
we
Mm,
yeah, we see all those action taking place in the kingdom of Israel, in the kingdom of Israel. I'm talking about the nine
mm,
tribes. We see
mm,
backstabbing and everything taking place. So as what you said, the deliver, is so important. Not to,
mm,
be enemy with, the rulership, but to
mm.
win over, you and the people together is very
Mm.
important.
That's right. Praise Yah. We're in the
Yeah.
book of Second Samuel, chapter 19, verse 9. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines. And
Mm-hmm.
now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. And
Mm.
Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore, why speak you not a word of bringing the king back? And
Mm-hmm.
King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, Why are ye the last to bring the king back to his house? Seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to his house. You are my brethren, you are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you the last to bring back the king? And say you to Amasa, Art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? Elohim do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab.
My deacon, just looking back on those couple of verses. I mean, when you
Hmm.
have do like the chain of command, or either way you establish your kingdom
Hmm.
to run, and most of all, you need your spiritual needs, and
That's right.
why those priests weren't the first one, to come back,
Mm,
and lead him back, to his gate or to his throne where he
mm,
truly belongs. The
mm,
priest should be the head of it because look at it. Who is our king? Who is our priest?
hmm.
Who is our redeemer?
That's right.
He's all in
Mm,
one. I mean,
that's right.
yeah, but we all need, what that also, sorry to break in that way, but verse 12, when it says, You are my brethren, you are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you the last to bring back the king? Watch out.
Hmm.
You know, there was a there when the Messiah was returning back to Jerusalem, he said those similar words, and one of we can go back to Matthew, the book of Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Where we going, Maya? Look.
Matthew. Let's go to Matthew 12.
Okay.
I think
Great.
Matthew 12. I just want to take a look on those verses and pick it up at so we can start at verse 46. Take it to the end, to verse 50.
Yes, sir, Maya. Look. We're in the book of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and brethren stood without,
Mm-hmm.
desiring to speak with him.
Mm-hmm.
Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
You know,
Praise God.
that kind of, say a big deal
Mm,
to me because because the priests, they are the ones supposed to be doing the will of the Father. They know that David was a chosen brother to do the will of the Most High Yah. So it's like, are they, shortfall? They come short in the work because they're supposed to do the will of the Father. They're supposed to be, David right hand, spiritual, everything that is needed spiritually should come from them because we know that it's going to be a spiritual kingdom when the Messiah return. But
mhm,
David is the father. Just looking back, David is the father of the Messiah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So number one, those spiritual need must be the first thing on the table. They should be
mm,
up and running. Let's get our king. Let's pray to and thank the Most High that He have allowed us to revenge the enemy of the chosen one, the
mm,
one that going to be the father of the Messiah.
mm.
They should have been So where are they? Where's my flesh? Where's my
Mm.
brother? The
See,
one that who's
Judah
supposed
should
to.
have came first.
Yeah, they should have been there first.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
slacking their work, just like we are slacking our work too. But
Mm,
we praise for the forgiveness, of the Father. Allow us to continue to come before Him to do His work. So these are
praise
the things that we have to, reflect and rehearse. We all have to be respectful, to each other. Look
mm,
out for each other, show love, the shema to each other, the word of the
mm,
Most High. And we cannot wait for a second chance. The first chance you get, supply your brother with all the needs, all the spiritual needs that he could ever want.
mm.
So we praise Yahweh. Let's go back to
Praise. Yeah. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 19, verse 14.
hmm
And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, Return thou and all thy servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan,
hmm
and Judah came to Gilgal to meet the king, to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, which was of the Hurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David.
hmm
Now we know that he was the first one when David was being chased out of the city. He came down and was throwing stones, and David's mighty men was ready to fall on that man.
Hmm.
Out there, he cursed my master, the king. What's going on here? Yeah.
Hmm.
But so Shimei is coming down and hasten to come
Hmm.
with the men of Judah to meet David. Verse 17. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons, and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And there went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household, and do what he thought good. And Shimei, the son of Gera, fell down before the king as he was come over Jordan,
Hmm.
and said unto the king, Let not my master impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember that which thy servant did perversely the day that my master the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. For thy servant does know that I have sinned before, that I have sinned therefore. Let me read that again. Verse 20. For thy servant does know now that I have sinned. I'm sorry. For thy servant does know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph to go down to meet my master the king.
He's in a lot of danger, man. He's in a lot of
And a
his
lot of
life hung on a
he's
thin
pleading.
thread.
He's pleading. He
Yeah,
came 1st. Mhm.
yeah, man. Looking at that scenario, that's what the priest, Zadok and Abiathar should have done in the first place. Seven had shown more of
Mm, that's right.
repentance more than anything else. Yeah, more than
Mm.
these priests, man.
See, yeah, he knew he did David wrong,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and David just was content with he was being accountable for the situation with the chastisements that Yahweh allowed to come upon him for him, for because of his of his shortcomings and his sin.
That's right.
And so so Shimei is coming trying to make peace, you know.
Mm.
I mean, whether it was sincere or not, that's not us to judge. But David received him. We're gonna see. He doesn't. We're gonna see what his men say.
That's right.
Verse 21. But Abishai the son of Zeruiah answered. Now this is one of the mighty men. Shall
Mm-hmm.
not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed Yahweh's anointed? See?
Mm.
So he was supposed, like, he should have died, according to and David's men were ready to take care of that business.
Absolutely.
Verse 22. And David said, What have I to do with you, you sons of Zeruiah, that you should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel? For do not I now know that I am this day king over Israel? Therefore the king said unto Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed until the day that he came again in peace. So now we
Mm.
read last week, Elder, when the servant of Mephibosheth came
Mm-hmm.
down when David was on the run, and
Mm-hmm.
he came with him, and he brung them mules donkeys for the people to ride on, and wine and cheese, and he came with a bountiful gift, and
Mm-hmm.
he said, my master is sitting in the house waiting for the kingdom to be restored to him. And so he was being real, and I
Mm.
and I mentioned that last week. I said, you see, David got to be he has to be very wise and discerning, because he got people coming to him from all angles. Everybody got an
All
angle.
different angles.
Everybody got an agenda. So he slandered Mephibosheth. So we
Mm.
see that when we read now, Mephibosheth, it said he neither trimmed his beard nor washed his clothes from the day that the king departed
Mm.
until the day he came again in peace. See,
Wow.
and let's see what he had to say. Um, verse 25. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest thou not with me, Mephibosheth? So he checking him about that. Now, well, why you didn't come with me? What
That's
happened?
right.
you've been at my table. David brung him into it. He made Mephibosheth to eat at his table, like one of his sons.
That's
This was
right.
Jonathan's son. So David
That's
honored
right.
Jonathan in his agreement with him and the covenant that they made before Yah. And so he's like, hey man, he checking him on it. I
Mm-hmm.
had you in my house sitting at my table like one of my sons. Well, why you
That's
didn't come
right.
with me, man? You know. So
But,
yeah, that's
so
interesting. Go ahead, Milo.
it's very interesting because you see what type of person David is.
Mm-hmm.
He is a person that will show, love,
Mm,
continuous love, even to his enemies.
that's right. That's right.
Y- Because he knew, forgiveness is so important. Because oh,
Mm,
you want Yahweh to forgive you when you can forgive your brother or your sister.
mm. Now you're saying something there, Ezra.
Come on, man. Take
Praise
it away,
Yah.
my deacon.
Verse 26. And he answered, my master, O king, my servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon and go to the king, because thy
Mm,
servant is lame. We know he was lame in his feet.
yeah.
And he says, and he has slandered. Oh, I'm sorry, verse 26. And he answered, my master, O king, my servant deceived me, for thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon, and go
Mm-hmm.
to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he has slandered thy servant unto my master the king. But my master the king is as an angel of Elohim. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes. So the people knew, Elder, from this statement. This is not the first time that we read that. When we read when the woman came, David, Joab had told the woman to go unto the king,
That's
and
right.
he put some words in her mouth. And when
Mm-hmm.
he's hearing these words, he said, "Just tell me the truth when I ask you this. Is not the hand of Joab with you in all this?"
Oh
She said the
man.
same thing. She said, "My master, the king, was like an angel of he was very wise and discerning." See, David could pick up on it. Yahweh allowed him to discern. So he's
That's right.
discerning what's actually taking place. David is no fool, you
That's
know.
right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
David is no fool. So he's telling him, King, you like an angel in the eyes. Do what you see fit.
That's right,
He told him, look, my servant slandered me before the king. He
man.
gonna come talking about, oh, he's sitting back waiting to get the kingdom restored to him. He's glad you gone, king.
That's right.
And trying to gain some position with him. But when he
Hmm.
saddled up the ass, he took the ass and left Mephibosheth and brought him. You see, slick. He's
You're
gonna
on your
show up to the
own.
king and bring all this stuff. Look what I brought you, O king. And
Mm.
So David had to be very wise. Got a lot of subtlety around him,
That's right,
and
man.
you
That's
know,
right.
mhm.
Mm-hmm. And that
Which
is
is an
it's so,
example for us. Go ahead, man. I'm
that's
sorry.
right. No, I said that is so important that you can discern the things that are happening around you. Who's
Hmm.
coming to the table? Who's coming around you? Because that's why it's so important to know this word, man. I continue in this word because these words will reveal everything that the Most High want to reveal to you. What's around you, what the next move, He will open, your eyes to see all those things, so that
Hmm.
you don't fall by the wayside. It's very important, man.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise God.
Indeed. Verse 28. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my master the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table.
Mm-hmm.
What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, you and Ziba divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, yea, let him take all. For as much as my master the king is come again in peace unto his own house. And Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Rogelim and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even fourscore years old. So he was 80 years old.
That's right.
And he had provided the king of substance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man, very wealthy. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old. Here again now. Now, it did
Hmm.
not say that he celebrated his birthday. It didn't say they brought him a cake, but he told him, I am this day 80 years old. Well, how the hell, how did he know this? Yeah, so we understand that they did keep records of this. They
That's right.
they knew that. We're not
That,
teaching that they celebrated and they did this, or there's nothing written. But nonetheless, they did acknowledge the day. This day, Yahweh, I'm 80 years old. So we read this continually out throughout the book.
mm-hmm.
We're not telling the people, oh, they were set, but let's understand something. The people acknowledged this day, and so we can gather from that they were grateful that Yahweh allowed them to see that day. It didn't say what they did during that day, but He acknowledged it. They were aware of it. You know, yeah.
That's right. You have to praise Yahweh for that, man,
You have to
because
praise Yah.
yeah, throughout history, our Father, always study times,
Mm,
because when Yahweh is giving them their prophecy, they need to know, the time frame when the
mm.
prophecy is going to come to pass, because you do have near and far prophecies,
That's
you
right.
know. Yeah,
Mm,
so our forefathers, they have to study, time and all.
mm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And there's different method you can use. Like if you go back into Genesis, chapter 1, verse 4 or verse 17,
Mm,
over to chapter 2, you can see that, throughout history,
mm,
our forefathers, they use, like, the sun, from sun up or sundown to sundown, that's
mm,
equivalent to one day,
mm,
with a new moon is approximately every 30 days,
mm,
yeah. And if you study the constellation, then you'll know there's a pattern, and those
mm,
pattern only come once a year. So
mm,
then you can tabulate all these years and know what, year that you're in, so that is
mm.
so important, so
Praise
important.
Yah.
Time is so
Mm.
important. Yeah.
Praise Yah. You're right, Melda. They
Hmm.
didn't have clocks or watches,
No,
but
no.
they kept very good records of time. I mean, they were more advanced than us. We're, we've increased in wisdom. I sent you a video earlier, and I was looking at a man, and he's 85, and he's out here strong as a ox. Ain't
Mm.
skipping a beat. And this generation has become wiser, but they've become weaker. In a
Oh,
sense. Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
Mm,
My I was just looking. Yeah. So yeah, I was just looking back at the book and Genesis, just to make sure.
mm-hmm,
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14.
mm.
Through all of that book, you can pick it up. So those are the things that Yahweh have us use to reckon time unto mankind.
Praise Yah.
Yeah, praise Yah.
Verse 35. I am this day 80 years old, and can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat, or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women?
Mm.
Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my master the king? Thy,
Mm.
thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king. And why should the king recompense it me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in my own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold thy servant, Chimham, let him go over with my master the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee.
Hmm.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. You notice, I mean, Barzillai, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's a very wise old man.
That's
You
right.
know, he know when to give up that ring. You
Mm.
know, he's not selfish because you know he's of age where he don't have long to go. So go ahead and bless someone else. Okay, I have done my part. You know, in
Mm.
life, the Most High has blessed me, and it's now to pass on. You know that rod.
See,
pass it on. You have to.
see.
It just I recall, with John the Baptist, he
Mm.
said, I must decrease, and the one that,
Mm.
comes after me must increase.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
see,
sir.
there's a time when you have to give it up. Don't
Mm.
try to be a dictator because
Mm.
one way or the other, you will fall.
Mm.
You have to
Oh,
give
that's
it up.
powerful.
So,
That's
I mean,
powerful.
this is a wise, man of Israel. Yeah.
Mm. That's deep. And I mean, and the servant had to be a faithful servant in his house for him to. He
Come
said,
on.
"Give it unto my servant." I
Yeah.
mean, that man. That's so showing you that you're rewarded accordingly.
Yeah.
That's very important. And Barzillai didn't have no agenda. The king had so many people coming to him with ulterior motives, so he
That's
had to be
right.
very wise. He looked out for the king, and then he come and brought him back. He conducted him, brought him over to Jordan, and he's like, "I'm an old man. I can't enjoy these things." But so he
You
didn't
know
do
it.
it seeking anything.
No,
Yeah.
his health was going, and you don't have long to last.
Mm.
So yeah, give it
We
to
got a
someone
comment
else.
down here. It's our sister Glenda Morgan said it's so important to know when to pass it on. You
Pass
know,
on that button.
see, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, he told Moshe, "You go up in that mountain and die." See,
Mm.
you're not
That's
gonna
right.
go over. What if Moshe is bucking? Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I want to. He wasn't trying to maintain power and force himself to.
Hmm.
He went up. The two of them went up, but both of them ain't come back down. Aaron had to come down with his sons, and that was and Moshe didn't get to enter into the land. We know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, if you notice in Moshe case, Moshe was very strong.
That's
He
right.
didn't show any form of weakness or
Mm-mm.
any deterioration of the body itself. But
Mm.
Yahweh is like, look here, man, you're just not gonna go over.
That's right.
And he was pleading to Yahweh, so Yahweh, pretty much I have, the amount of love for these people that you have given, for me
Mm.
to rule over. Let me do it. And Yahweh said, look here, man, in a short word, you're not going. You hold your little space. You
That's
understand?
right. That's right.
I will wake you up, when the time, I'm ready
Mm.
for, to wake you up.
Mm.
Yeah, so but Moshe, he just humbled himself after that.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's powerful.
yeah.
Mm.
Truly
Praise
indeed,
God.
man. Praise God.
Let's see here. We're in the book of Second Samuel, chapter 19, verse 30, verse
Hey,
39.
okay.
I'm sorry, verse 41. Mm, yeah,
Verse 30. Pick it up at 39.
39. Okay. Yes, sir. And all the people went over Jordan, and when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai, and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Then the king went on to Gilgal, and Chimham went on with him. And all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said unto the king, Why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have
Mm-hmm.
brought the king and his household and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us. Wherefore then be you angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all of the king's cause, or has he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, We have
Mm-hmm.
10 parts in the king, and we also have more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king. And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. So they're
Praise, yeah.
debating, they're debating. But Israel, we understand Israel, they were telling the men of Judah, let us bring the king back. They were telling them that. And but then David reached out and was like, well, why the men of Israel, why Judah ain't, these are my near kin. They are the
That's
same
right.
tribe. Why they haven't been the first ones to try to restore me? And he had to check
That's
them.
right.
And then they came and took care of that business. And then now they're debating with Israel. Israel is like, well, we already told you about this. Why you didn't listen to us when we first brought this to you? But their words became more fiercer, it said. So we see there's still a division among the tribes.
Among the tribe. David have to do things decently and in order,
Yes, sir.
according to, the instruction that he received, you know. Yeah, but now we see here where David has regained back the kingdom. But let's see what's involved, in his kingdom as we go forward. Unless you want to add a little bit more to the chapter you just read. So let's go to chapter 20.
Yes, sir. Post here. Yes, sir. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there happened to be there a man of Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite. And he blew a trumpet and said, we have no part in David,
Mm-hmm.
neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Israel. So every man of Israel went up from David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem.
So as just what you state, my deacon, there's still
Mhm,
a division,
mhm.
within David kingdom. And when you find that in your household, you have to do something about that. You
Mm,
cannot allow that to continue in your household.
mm.
You know. But go ahead.
Allow it to
Let
fester
me
up and
see.
bring problem.
Yeah, you do not want this problem to prolong in your household. You have to
Mhm.
get rid of the problem.
That's right.
Continue,
Verse,
my.
verse 3. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in ward, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they
Mm-hmm.
were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. And we know that this was because his son had spread a tent in the sight of all Israel and went and lied with his concubines. And so
That's
David
right.
did not go back on into his concubines after that. And that's according to the law. Yeah.
That's right. But you notice what? Even though David, could not go back into, his concubine, he still
Took care of them.
maintained them. He still took
That's right.
care of them.
That's right.
You see what type of brother, do our brothers are like that out here?
No,
Knowing that our
no.
sister have been through some hard times, they kick it to the curb.
In a heartbeat. In a
Oh man,
heartbeat.
in a second or two, man.
I
You're
mean,
absolutely
they're going to
right.
say that they weren't seeking after Absalom. Absalom did that to make himself stink to his
Yeah.
father, and he received counsel on that. They told him, "Man, go lie with your father's concubines, and you're gonna make your
Mm,
all this. That you're gonna make the conspiracy even stronger because the people gonna say, oh, he done turned
yeah.
against his father.
That's
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 4. Then said the king to Amasa, assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom.
Mm-hmm.
Take thou take thou thy master's servants, and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Cherethites, and the Pelethites, and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri.
Mm-hmm.
When they were at the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, Art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him, but Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the fifth rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba, the son of Bichri. These men were
Mm-mm-mm.
conspiring against the king. King sent them
Yep.
to take care of some business, and he tarried longer than he was told. And so David already knew what it was. There again, we were
Yeah.
talking about David being a discerning king, very wise.
That's
He said,
right. That's right.
it's going to be worse if we allow it. We can't let this happen. So he sent his men after him, and we see Joab took care of that business, and
That's
they
right.
continue pursuing after him. Verse 10,
11.
verse 11, forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of Joab's men stood by him and said, He that favoreth Joab, and he that is for David, let him go after Joab. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the men saw that all the people, and when the men saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field, and cast a cloth upon him. When he saw that every one that came by him stood still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Verse 13. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel and to unto Abel and to Beth Makkah, and all the Berites, and they were gathered together and went also after him. And they came and besieged him at Abel of Beth Makkah, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench. And all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, say, I pray you, unto Joab, Come near hither, that I may speak with thee. And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, Art thou Joab? And he answered and said, I am he. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of thy handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. Then she spake, saying, they were wont to speak in old time, saying, and that word wont, it's saying accustomed. So
That's
they
right.
were accustomed to speak in old time, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel. And they ended the matter. And so they ended the matter. And I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel.
Praise yeah.
Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why will you swallow up the inheritance of Yahweh?
Man,
And
I mean that mother has so much wisdom, man.
that's right.
And
That's
she's
right.
using it.
Yeah,
She's using it effectively,
that's
to
right.
talk because she knew that Joab is one of the mighty men of David. He don't
Mm,
mind taking out a city.
that's right. That's right.
So yeah, she have to judge the situation. Hey, come here, Joab.
Mm,
Let us reason together. Let's see if we
that's it.
can resolve this matter real quick without you tearing down my house.
Mm.
Yeah,
She,
go ahead.
she, she basically became an
Hmm.
intercessor
That's
for the
right.
city because the city's
That's
about to
right.
be destroyed. They're like the men were they said they were battering down the wall. So there's a wall up, of course. So,
Hmm.
so they got a wall up to protect the city, and the men were battering down the wall. They about to take this city, you know. And so,
Hmm.
like you said, Elder, she was a very wise mother in Israel, and she's exercising this. This is
That's
an
right.
example. She's using her wisdom, and she's delivering the city. Verse 20. And Joab answered and said, Far be it, far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so. But a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, has lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown over to thee over the wall.
Mm.
See that? Mm.
For the mother to say those words to Joab, it shows a lot about her. She
That's
was
right.
like an icon,
Mm.
for that neighborhood. That
That's
the
right.
men within the city would listen to her. You
I mean,
know.
that's so powerful, Elder. It didn't say an elder or one of the brothers came out to meet him.
Mm.
See, they might have got slayed because they were keeping the man inside the city. They knew he was in there.
That's
Now
right.
we don't know the full situation, but nonetheless, they word travels. So something was going on, and they know there's tension. This man, he done came held up in the city, and he's seeking refuge in the city. And we don't know if he spoke with anyone or what have you, but they know something is going down. Because
That's
here it is,
right.
that Joab and the mighty men are pursuing after him. You know, but that's very interesting. Verse 22. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over uh, was over the Cherethites and over the Pelethites, and Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the recorder, and
Mm-hmm.
Sheba was scribe, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, and Ira was the Jairite, and Ira also the Jairite was a chief ruler about David. Hmm.
Praise yeah, and praise
Praise
yeah
Yah.
once again, man. What that remind me. It remind me of when that man concubine or wife what was raped by the Benjamites, you know,
Mm,
and they almost wiped out all the tribe of Benjamin. And
mm,
here we see again this guy's from the tribe of Benjamin. They
mm.
always try to tussle with the warriors. The tribe of Judah don't play. You
That's right.
know,
That's
David
right.
in control. He
Mm,
will take out a city, because he's not going to allow anyone to destroy, his kingdom anymore.
mm. Indeed. Indeed.
Truly, indeed, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
fit, you fit to go on to 21?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 21, verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of Yahweh. And Yahweh answered, It is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew
Mm-hmm.
the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, Now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel,
That's
but
right.
a remnant of the Amorites. So we know they came in when the children, this was from the time of,
Sodom.
of Joshua. They came in,
That's right.
with the old barrel and the old bread, and they came real slick, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but they wanted to preserve their lives. And we see
Mm-hmm.
that Joshua made a covenant with them that he would
That's
not
right.
kill them. And
That's right.
this fulfilled the curse that was upon Canaan, Noah's grandson.
That's right.
You know, this fulfilled that when he said, "A servant of servants shall they be," and when
Mm-hmm.
so they became the servants unto Yahweh's servants. That fulfilled that curse that was put upon Ham's grandson,
That's
Canaan.
right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. Praise God for that information, man. And I do hope, the viewers, they accept, when you go back and explain, that prophecy was fulfilled, back in the book of Genesis. Yahweh
Mm,
said, you know, yeah, You shall be a
Mm,
servant, a servant. Because
praise
that is
God.
so important, man.
But they're
So
gonna tell us
important.
that Ham was cursed black. That's
Oh
what they
man,
try to tell us. This is the games they want to play with us. You know.
come on,
Yeah.
come on,
So
come on,
but
come on, man.
we gotta
Wait,
read between these things here.
you know, once there was a guy, my coworker was like, it was like, oh man, the Gentiles were the first. So, the Gentiles, they're white.
Mm-hmm.
Not all Gentiles are white, but he was
Right.
white.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, we were here first. So, I have to point out, I said, man, look here, man, what man was made out of first? And
Mm.
he said, the ground. I said, what color is the ground? He
Mm.
was like, he pulled back. He couldn't say anything anymore. Yeah,
Mm.
the
Mm.
ground is not white. Come on,
Mm.
man.
Mm.
Yeah, so he understands that, we are the people of Israel, no one
Mm.
else.
Mm.
Yeah, so, sometimes you have to use certain things for even the Gentile to understand what's going on.
I'm
And
praise God
who
for His mercy because He even opened up the. We understand that the
the
doors were
gates,
open.
yeah.
The gates were open to all nations to receive salvation. You know.
Man, look,
Mm.
Israel was shortchanging the Most High. What do
That's
you
right.
expect?
That's right.
Yeah,
Mm. Praise God.
praise
Verse
God.
verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that you may bless the inheritance of Yahweh?
Okay, yeah. So David now he's the one that is sitting on the throne. No, so you have to make it right.
Mm,
You understand? No, you are responsible, for this thing now. Don't put it on the next one.
that's
You are
right.
sitting on the high seat now. You are responsible. Don't say the
See?
problem is not yours. All the problem within
Mm,
your kingdom become yours.
see? I mean, we had a famine in the land for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and David is inquiring of Yahweh, and he said, this is because of Saul's bloody house. See?
That's right.
He slayed them Gibeonites, but Yahweh made a covenant with them. Joshua made a covenant with the people unto Yahweh that he would not kill them, but they would be uh, hewers of
Servant.
wood and carriers of water unto the
Mm-hmm.
children of Israel. You know, and so they dwelt among Israel. So David is inquiring of Yahweh. Yahweh like, no, you have to fix that. Like you said, it's under his hand now. It falls. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it, but he has to fix it and be accountable in order to get things back in order. So praise Yahweh.
Yeah, praise God.
Verse 4. And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, what shall you say that I will do for you?
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm,
Take it, country my deacon.
yes, sir.
No
First,
silver,
no
no
silver. That's
gold,
right. You
no,
don't want no money.
no any
Yeah.
man of Israel. But go ahead,
Mm.
man. Let us see what it's all about. Yeah.
Verse 5. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us and that devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coast of Israel, let 7 of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto Yahweh in Gibeah of Saul, whom Yahweh did choose. And the king said, I will give them. I mean, now to show you the nature of David, the
Mm-hmm.
character of David, he's going to make this thing right. Yahweh telling him, you straight that Yahweh put a famine on the land because of what they did. The Gibeonites were not his children, and
That's
look at what
right.
he did. But but they dwelt among Israel, and as the stranger shall do, so shall you, or as you do, so shall a stranger do. It's a one law for all, and Yahweh respected that covenant and respected the
That's
people.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's powerful.
Yeah. Joshua made a covenant. You cannot
Mm,
break that covenant.
see,
Say it's gonna go along with, the descendant.
see.
And I know you mentioned Joshua chapter 9, but I will,
Mm,
ask the viewers to go back and read, Joshua chapter 9 to get the whole story of these Gideonites, the
mm.
true story. We're not going to go back for time's sake, but go back and read the story. And this is what the Gideonites, are talking about.
Yes, sir. That was dealing with that battle of Jericho and Ai. They heard about that. The Gibeonites, they were frightened for their life,
I
you know.
know.
So,
Mm.
yeah, they came very, very
Sudden.
subtly, you know. But they were
Yeah,
wise. They,
they
they,
were
they,
wise.
they preserved, Yahweh preserved them. Their life was spared because of that,
That's right.
Yeah. And once the man made a covenant, and this also is confirmation and also should give us encouragement that Yahweh does not break his covenant. Here it is. This is a covenant that was made with another nation of people.
That's right.
And he's punishing Israel, putting a famine on the land because they dealt despitefully. Saul, in his zeal for Israel, he went and slewed off the Gibeonites, and Yahweh's punishing them because of that. So if
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh will uphold his covenant with the nations, then what do you think about the covenant that he made with his children?
Mm. He
If he
made
would
an
go to this,
everlasting covenant, man.
see, he says, man, if the sun on the moon depart, or if you could count the sand of the sea, then I'll
Mm-hmm.
cast away these people. See, so this
That's
should give
right.
us confidence and encourage us to know that Yahweh's word will not be returned void unto him. Every word he
Mm.
said, so we can take confidence in these things.
Yeah.
Praise
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. And yeah, as you mentioned, I think you can pick up that story out in Jeremiah chapter 31.
God.
Yeah, chapter
Go ahead.
31. You can read about that covenant that Yahweh said will not.
You want us to read that, Elder?
I mean, time to okay, yeah, why not? Yeah, this is so important to our people.
Yes, sir.
Yahweh will not break his covenant with us.
Praise God.
Jeremiah 31, you can pick it up at 36. And yeah, 36 or 35.
35. Okay, so this is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 35. Because we say prove all things, Elder. Line upon
That's
line,
right.
precept upon precept, here a little, there a little.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Verse 35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name.
Praise
If
Yah.
praise Yah. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Mm.
Thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahweh.
You don't
But
have to
this
go any
hasn't
further.
happened.
Okay.
See?
You can go ahead and elaborate a little more on that if you want. Because yeah, go ahead, man. You can.
It's summarized there, though. It's
It's
summarized there,
it's
like,
straightforward. But I'm telling you, man, these people, they really, really, you know what? Other
hmm,
nation, they know who we are, but it's
hmm,
our people we do have the problem with. No one else.
correct, correct, correct. This is true. This is the
Yeah.
curse. He said, give them eyes that they see not, give them ears that they hear not unto this day.
Mm-hmm.
Let them bend down their backs always, and I'm paraphrasing, but nonetheless, Yahweh did these things. He didn't do that to
Yeah.
the nation. He didn't say the nations can't see. He said, I'm gonna give Israel eyes that they see not. The nations know
Mm.
because they're conspiring against you. So they know who you are. He said they're all in cahoots. He said the nations have said with one consent, let us cause the name of Israel to cease from among men.
Seize.
See? So they know who Israel is. He
That's
didn't say
right.
they were blinded. The curse of blindness is upon his people. See? Yeah.
That's right, man. That's just so right. So true.
Praise God. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 21, verse 5. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us and devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coast of Israel, let 7 of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto Yahweh in Gibeah of Saul, whom Yahweh did choose. And the king said, I will give them. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because
Mm-hmm.
of Yahweh's oath. Here again, these covenants that are made. He made a covenant with Jonathan, so he's like, I'm not going to slay Mephibosheth, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because of Yahweh's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul.
That's right.
But the king took the two sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Ai, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Maholathite. So these were his nephews, if you would.
Yeah, yeah, because we know that Michal married to David, the king,
Right.
and
That's right.
they didn't have any seed. They put it
Hmm.
that way. They didn't have any children
That's right.
because when David returned back from from
Hmm.
killing those Philistines and dancing, she got a little jealous.
Mm.
So yeah. So those children are, as what you said, those are the son. Those children were the son of her sister.
Hmm.
The sister that Saul, the dad, the first daughter that
Hmm.
David, was supposed to be married to David. You can go back in the her sister name was in the middle part, Merab,
That's right.
Merab. B. So those are the children of Merab. Um, those of her children that she bare to Adriel,
That's
which was
right.
marked. Yeah, because
Mm.
yeah, that daughter was given, you know, to Adriel instead of David.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
David was very wise. He didn't give up Mephibosheth.
Mm.
And he could have done that, but he didn't do that. Yeah,
You,
he
you
made a
see,
covenant.
David, yeah, a covenant, but he have a love for, as
That's
what
right.
you stated before, for your Nathan or Jonathan,
That's right.
So, and he always, David, a man like that, he honor, his oath or his covenant.
Mm. Praise God.
Praise God.
Verse 9. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before Yahweh. And they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. So this gives us a this is a time of this is the spring. It gives us a actual timestamp based off of the actual event that was taking place. Verse 10. And Rizpah, the daughter of Ai, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock, from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Ai, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan and his son rather, from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa. And he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, Elohim was entreated for the land. Praise Yah. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel. And David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed faint. And Ishbi Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels in brass weight, he being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored him, and smote the Philistine, and killed him. Then the men of David swear unto him, saying, Thou shalt go out no more with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. And it came to pass after this, that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbecai the Hushathite slew Siph, which was of the sons of the giant. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jeri Oregam, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature, that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. Praise Yah.
Praise it, praise it, and
Mm,
praise it. You know, I'm just looking back at verse 20, where every hand have 6 fingers,
mm,
and you know, I'm trying to look back, and if I see, I cannot recall seeing another nation, but the children of Israel,
mm-hmm.
with those 6 hands, 6 fingers, on one hand or
I've
on each
seen the
hand.
nations try to take that. There was I've seen that in films. I
Yeah.
saw a nation try to take that. There was a nation among the Gentiles. Uh, it was a movie. I think it was like a comedy slash movie, but it was dealing with the kings. It was called The Princess Bride, and it was a man who was known to have 6 fingers on his hand. They didn't say about his toes, but he had 6 fingers, and I remember the man was looking for this man who slayed his father, and
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to honor his father and kill the man who buried. But I always wondered, where did they get that story from? Because we know that the nations have taken these stories. We got the 300. We
Mm-hmm.
know that that was taken out of the book here. So yeah, like you said, Elder, it's a lot of things in
Yeah,
this.
because they try to imitate, or try to
That's
take
right.
things out of here to represent them, to show that, oh, they are the children of Israel.
That's right.
But the only nation I've seen, I'm talking about me now. I don't know about the other. I've seen
Mm,
brothers with 6 fingers, you
mm,
know, and I don't know. Maybe you've
mm.
seen it somewhere with another nation, but it's only our brothers I've seen many, many times,
But
many, many times.
these were mighty men under the Philistines, because they were
Yeah,
saying that these were descendants of Goliath.
I know at God. So I just know I
Hmm.
only seen it with my people,
That's
not
powerful.
yeah,
Of another nation.
of another nation, because we know
Mhm.
who are the Philistines.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Mm.
All right. I know time is gone, but I was trying
Oh
to
yeah,
see if
we're
we can.
chapter 22.
Yeah, yeah. Let's look at this song by our King David. We
Praise yeah.
maybe I know this song has been translated into English, and we don't speak their language back then, but it is a beautiful
Mm.
song. So
Praise
let's
yeah.
see if we can skip around a little bit with this one. You can pick it up on verse 1.
Yes, sir. 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies, and out of the hand of Saul. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the Elohim of my rock. In him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence.
Mm-hmm.
I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies.
Praise yeah.
Praise Yah.
But
When the waves,
you notice my deacon,
Mm,
when David looked back, we need to look back on our lives also. When you
mm,
reflect on that man, you should be a
mm.
dead man way back then.
That's
But
right.
no, David realized, he's been through a lot. So no,
Mm,
he start writing on all those things that happened in his life, you know,
mm.
to make sure he always glorified the Father.
Praise yeah.
Yeah, he take care of him through all his problems, through all his troubles. So he's reflecting back on the days, growing up from youth up until now, when the
Mm,
kingdom was taken away, and now the kingdom is given back to him. So he's giving Yahweh all these glories, you
mm.
know. Yeah, and it should go through him. But let's jump to 31 if you don't mind.
Uh,
Mm. But I would advise the listeners, the viewers, to go ahead and read the entire chapter. But for time's sake, I'm gonna
I
jump
mean,
to
it's a
verse.
beauty. This is a song, you know.
It is a song.
So I mean, like, yeah, like none of these words are unimportant. This is a song. I mean, what is the difference today between when a singer will reflect on his life and call
That's
to
right.
remembrance and put it? You know, these words here are actual song. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why our people were a singing people. You know, David not only being a poet, you know, but this is one of the songs that he wrote. But the whole book of Psalms
Man,
were songs,
which
psalms of
nation?
deliverance. You know,
Which nation can sing like us, man?
mm. Verse
Which
31.
nation can
Mm.
blow the pipes like
See,
our people from way deep down?
mm. Praise Yah. Verse 31. As for Elohim, his way is perfect. The word of Yahweh is tried. He is a
Mm-hmm.
buckler to all them that trust in him. For who is Elohim save Yahweh? And who is a rock save our Elohim?
Mm-hmm.
Elohim is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and sitteth me upon my high places.
Mm-hmm.
He teacheth my hands to war, so that the bow of steel is broken in mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness has made me great. Praise Yah. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies and destroyed them, and
Mm-hmm.
turned not again until I had consumed them. And I have consumed them and wounded them, that they could not arise. Yea, they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength to battle. Them that rose up against me has thou subdued under me.
47.
Verse 47. Yahweh liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the Elohim of the rock of my salvation.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. It is Elohim that avengeth me, and that bringeth down the people under me. So David acknowledged these things in all things. Yahweh is the one who does all these things and allows us to do anything in our lives. And so
That's
praise Yah.
praise Yah.
It is Elohim that avengeth me and bringeth down the people under me, and that bringeth me forth from my enemies. Thou also hast lifted me up on high above them that rose up against me.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast delivered me from the violent man.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Yahweh, among the heathen, and I will sing praises unto thy name. He is the tower of salvation for his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, unto David, and to his seed forevermore. Praise Yah. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 1. Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the Elohim of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel, said, the Spirit of Yahweh spake by me, and his word was in my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
The Elohim of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Elohim. See, so these are the standards of a king or a ruler over the people. So this is
That's
why
right.
it says, Elder, when the wicked reign, the people mourn. See, so this is
Absolutely
what this
right,
is
man.
the time that we're in. We're seeing the wicked are ruling, and the people are mourning. You know, but
They don't care about the poor.
see,
Because the Messiah said the poor will always out with us. They
mm,
don't care about the poor. They just care about the elite.
see, that's right. And so David is showing us that the standards of a king is that he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in
That's
the
right.
fear of Elohim. See, so this is what the
Mm,
nations, we see that the nations, and Yahweh's giving them over to this because you know, he's given them their own gods to worship. He gave them
that's
over
right.
to that to worship the host of the nations. You know.
That's right. And we do know that the fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Knowledge of your Creator.
Hmm. Verse
You want
4.
to Yeah, you
Hmm.
want to jump to verse 8? Let's look at some of the mighty men of David.
I mean, okay. I don't want us to
Um,
rush through it. These are the last words of David. I don't think we should
Okay,
ever
okay,
jump
all
past
right.
them.
Get back to verse 4.
Yeah. I don't think but I mean, but yeah, I don't think we should these are his last words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, verse 4. And he shall be the light of the morning when the sun riseth, even a morning without clouds, as the tender grass springeth out of the earth by clear shining after rain. Although my house be not so with Elohim, yet he has made me with an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things, and for sure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire, although he make it not to grow. But the sons of Belial shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron, and the staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David. When they defied the Philistines, they were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And Yahweh wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. Hmm. Verse
Mm-hmm.
11, his mighty men, yes, sir. And
But
after him, hmm,
you know what, my deacon, it shows, what type of people we came from.
hmm,
We are mighty men,
yes, sir,
we were
yes, sir.
warriors,
Hmm,
warriors of the Most High.
hmm,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Verse 11, and after him was Shema, the son of Agi, the Hararite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines, and Yahweh wrought a great victory. And 3 of the 30 chief went down, and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam, and the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And David was then in an hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the three mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto Yahweh. Mm, that's deep, Elder.
I mean that deep, man. I mean, it's mighty men, man. They are like honorable men. They are loyal, loyalty to the king. They give their lives to the king. Their life doesn't mean anything to them.
Mm,
You know that's you know that's But look at his son. Look at your back at his son. It said, man, look, if you love your life, you shall lose it.
that's right.
You see what I'm saying? But if
That's
you
right.
give your life for me, you will gain eternal life.
Mm, deep. That's right.
So that's why we are out here. We're using this time to do the work, that
Mm,
He gave us to do.
mm,
And we will continue to do them without nothing barring us from doing it. Because we know He's the one paving the way for us to come out here and teach our people what's going on.
praise God. Praise God.
We
Mm,
don't fear death, man. We do
mm,
this work.
mm. See, praise God. Verse 17.
Hmm.
And he said, be it far from me, O Yahweh, that I should do this thing. Is not this the blood of men, of the men rather that were in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these three mighty men. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among three. And he lifted up his spear against 300 and slew them, and had the name among three. Was he not most honorable of three? Therefore he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first three. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew two lion-like men of Moab. And that's deep.
Mm.
What was a lion-like man? That's deep.
They're,
These were warriors
they're,
too.
they are warriors. They're
Yes, sir.
warriors. They will rip you,
Mm,
in two in
mm.
a second or two.
See?
Yeah. They show those men. Yeah, those men. They are men of war.
Mm.
Yeah, and they don't take captive, or what they said.
For real.
They're gonna take your head off, in a second or
Mm,
two, man. Mighty
mm.
men.
Praise Yah. Latter part of verse 20. And he slew two lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. Hmm.
Mm.
That's a warrior now. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
See? And it also lets us know what takes place in the region. So what is the time of snow? We know this is winter,
That's
you know,
right.
you know. So it shows you the seasons and some of the variations. So some people didn't know there's snow in Israel, you know. And that also shows because they say that the birth of the Messiah was in the dead of winter, which that doesn't line up. Is a time of
Hmm.
snow. There is a time of snow in Israel. See,
And we know how the shepherd they operate during the cold
see,
season. So
that's right.
come
See,
on. That yeah,
praise
yeah,
God.
that light can go
Can't
any
stand.
further. No,
That's
it
right.
can't stand. It have to stop
Mm,
right there.
praise God. Verse 21. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man, and the Egyptian had a spear in his hand. He went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among three mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he obtained not to the first three. And David set him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shema the Harodite, Elika the Harodite, Helez the Paltite, Ira the son of Ikesh the Tekoite, Abiezar and Anathite, Mabunai the Hushathite,
Mm-hmm.
Zalmon the Ahohite, Mahari the Netophathite,
Mm-hmm.
Heleb the son of Bana a Netophathite, Ittai the son of Ribai, out of Gibeah of the children of Benjamin. Benaiah, the Parathonite,
Mm-hmm.
Hiddai, the brooks of Gaash, Abai Albon, the Arbathite, Asmerveth, the Barhumite, El Elahibah, the Shalbonite, of the sons of Jashin, Jonathan, Shema, the Hararite, Ahiam, the son of Sherar, the Hararite, Eliphalet, the son of Abishai, the son of Micaiah, of the Micaiahite, Eliam, the son of Ahithophel, the Gilonite, Hezrai, the Carmelite, Peirai, the Arbite, Igal, the son of Nathan of Zobah, Bani, the Gadite, Zelek, the Ammonite, Naharai, the Berothite, armor bearer to Joab, the son of Zeruiah,
Mm-hmm.
Ira, an Ithrite, Gareb, an Ithrite, Uriah the Hittite, 30 and 7 in all. Praise God.
Praise yeah.
David had 37 mighty men in all. And
Yo,
he
man.
slew one of them.
Yeah.
He was reading about that sword in his house, and part of that sword came from him slewing one of his mighty men and taking his wife. Yeah, So
Yeah.
Uriah was one of his mighty men. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. The guy gave his life for Israel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But what do you think? You want to go through 24? Yeah.
And David sin and numbering the people. The I know it's a lot to cover with this still, but the yeah, I'm sure our elders gonna want a part of this here. But the let's go, Elder, and
Okay.
we can do a review if anything with our elder next
Okay.
week. Shall we will.
That's
This is
fine.
the book of Second Samuel, chapter 24, verse 1. And again, the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, "Go number Israel and Judah." For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, "Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number you the people, that I may know the number of the people." And Joab said unto the king, "Now Yahweh thy Elohim add unto the people, how many soever they be, 100-fold, and that the eyes of my master the king may see it. But why does my master the king delight in this thing?" Notwithstanding, the king's word prevailed against Joab, and against the captains of the host. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel.
Praise
So we
yeah.
know.
Go
Hmm.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, my
No, go
deacon.
ahead, my elder. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, Joab was a wise warrior too.
That's right.
Because he knew that the priests of Yahweh, the Levite, they're the ones supposed to number the people.
That's right.
So it's like, why you want to do this thing, King?
Hmm.
But the king, have the last word at all time. He have
That's right.
power over death and life.
Hmm.
That's all those things roll back then.
That's right.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
Joab was totally right, Elder. Joab
yeah.
was totally right. He's like, you ain't like he knew that he wasn't supposed to do this. But verse 1 summarized it. He said, "And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel, and he
Mm-hmm.
moved David against them to say, Go
That's
and
right.
number Israel and Judah." So Yahweh put it in, yeah, Yahweh had a issue with Israel. He didn't say what it was, but he moved David to sin and number the
Mm-hmm.
people. That's powerful, you know.
That, that's right.
Mm.
But yeah. Go ahead.
What you got, Elder?
No, I said go ahead. I was because that we have to go back into the book of Chronicle to get
Mm.
a little bit more, clearance on that. But go ahead. Why, the question is why Yahweh move, David. But Yahweh can do anything that he want to do.
Yes, sir.
He's in control at all time.
Hmm.
So it's very, very important for you, to walk righteously before him. not according to man, but according to him. His instruction. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I mean, I think that's important that we go back and cover that. If you want us to stop here so that we can be able to cover all of these precepts, Yah's will, and pick it up next week where we can cover back these precepts here and build that foundation, you know, since we've reached to this, and then we can close out the book of Second Samuel, if
yeah.
you
We
want,
can. Yeah, we can do just that because we want to look, look for all the possible reason why Yahweh want to do David these things. Is Yahweh a lot of questions gonna go out there?
Mm-hmm.
What was Yahweh have in store for all these guys, these
Mm,
Israelites, what
mm,
sin did they commit? I know it didn't
mm.
state here, but is there other places in the book where we can, go and find, some answers for this? Maybe, maybe not, but
Praise God.
we want to thoroughly, investigate all these things. So we can put a stop right there,
Okay.
and then um, we can come back, Yah's will, next Shabbat, and finish these things. You
Praise
know,
God.
yeah, praise yeah,
Praise God.
yeah, and then hopefully Yah's will, the elder will be back, and we can go over it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All
if you
right.
don't
Praise
mind.
God.
Praise Yah for
Praise
that.
God.
hmm Now, um, um, we reached the end of this Shabbat class. I want to thank Yahweh, for allowing us to come before you and minister before his people. First of all, you know, we always ask him for forgiveness, for our sins, because, we all come short of the glory of the Most High,
Mm,
and thank him again, to allowing us, like, to read and understand these word that is given, and he, put aside all these word or restore this word unto us, this generation, because we are
mm.
in this generation, where, you know, he, a lot of things is going on,
Yes,
and
sir.
our people need understanding. But my deacon, your last word,
Oh, Elder, praise yeah. The I was just we at the beginning of the class we had read in the book of Exodus, chapter
Mm-hmm.
17, and it was talking about a book of remembrance. And
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a precept for that. And but in the book of Second Timothy, in chapter 2, um, verses 14,
Mm-hmm.
verses 11 actually, the this testimony was very important. The If I could, I just want to read Elder from chapter 2, verse 1 to 15.
Go
It's
ahead.
this is what I received. It says, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in the Mashiach Yeshua, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yeshua HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully.
Mm.
The farmer or the husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and Yahweh give thee understanding in all things. Remember that Yeshua HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. But the word of Elohim is not bound. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in the Mashiach Yeshua with eternal glory.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us.
Mm-hmm.
If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful. He cannot deny himself. Of these things, put them in remembrance. Again, we got a book of
Mm.
remembrance written. So, he said, of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Adonai, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers.
That's right.
Study to show thyself approved unto Elohim, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Praise
And
God.
I mean, and that's it, Elder. He said, study to show thyself approved. So what is it that we study? The law and the prophets and the
That's right.
wisdom writings and the gospels and all. He said, but study to show thyself approved. But not only that, he said, of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Adonai and Yahweh that they strive not about words to no profit. And this is what we see, a lot of things going on among our people, especially those who are awakened and know who they are. There's a lot of striving going on about words to no profit. But the words that we're speaking the goal should be to the subverting of the hearers. We want the people to hear the message. Thus saith Yahweh, so that Yahweh gets the glory. It's not about our glory. So all this striving and back and forth and among our people, Yahweh doesn't get the glory in that. You know,
No.
yeah, so let us be mindful of these things, especially as stewards of this word. Yeah, and that's all I received, my elder.
Yeah,
Praise
very
God.
excellent, excellent reading, my deacon. And it goes to show that we have to live, according to these words too. And we need also to remember to rehearse and reflect,
Mhm.
on our past journey, so we can be a better person, not to ourselves or to anyone else, because automatically when you do, but to the Most High. You know, when you reflect and to do what He command us to do, that take care of the whole deal. Your family structure, in and outside your home will be much stronger, in faith, and in love, strangers also. So we all have to reflect on the journey, just as how David is reflecting back on his kingdom, his journey through his kingdom. So we praise Yahweh for that. And with that,
Praise
or
God.
before, let me hand it back over to you for any announcement.
Oh yes, my elder. If anyone tuned in, if the Spirit moves you and you would like to receive your baptism, please reach out to us. You can reach out to us on Facebook. You can send message. You can text us. We're a tight knit family, so if you need to reach out to us and you would like to get your baptism, please definitely reach out to us. We can take care of that business for you. As Yahweh allow. So yeah, praise Yah.
Praise yeah. And with that, I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalom, to you, my deacon, and to all the listeners, the viewers, Shabbat Shalom, and may Yahweh bless and keep all of you.
Praise Yah,
Shabbat
my
Shalom.
elder. Shabbat shalom, family.